All right, everybody, thanks for joining us for one more day of the paintings that are inside of my brand new book. My name is Lauren Harris, and this is the book, Bing Himself, The Story of Bing Crosby, the world's first multimedia star. And I'm here with Joe Everson, who did the illustrations, the beautiful paintings that are inside of this book. You need to go out and get yourself a copy. Wherever books are sold, you can get it. And check it out. You've got to see it in person. And I see one of the paintings there behind you, Joe. This one, we had already talked about a couple days ago. We talked about Bing and his love for baseball, and this stayed with him his whole life. So this is a picture of Bing, and he was not just costumed for this. So Bing became part owner of the Pittsburgh Pirates, and he stayed in that role for about 30 years. And he would often dress out and go to spring training with the team. And so that's what this was from. And, he wasn't just an investor. He actually knew all the stats of all the players. He knew the minor league stats for all the players that were on the minor league team, feeder team for the Pirates. So, yeah, and he just loved baseball, America's pastime, and he is America's entertainer. So it's a good fit. It was a perfect fit.
Man, yeah, that is really wild. I did not know that he was, let alone into baseball, but also at this role as well, and even playing with them during spring trainings and all that. It blew me away. And that was half the fun to doing all the paintings from these actual images from the book. And I really felt like on this one, I wanted to bring the sky all the way down into the field and just really wrap him around with this blue hit. As you can see, we got some other things coming with totally other color. And I just really wanted to do that on this one, bring out a little bit of blue tones and all the shadows and everything. But you can see he's hitting the ball. And I used a little bit of a motion with my hand and actually pulled. So you get a little energy from the swing. And there's a little bit of splatter and throws of paint near the bat and all of that. But this is just fun to be able to do something in my style that has a little bit of motion to it. And I'm just blown away by his athleticism, to be honest, and the fact that he knew the teams and everything. Really, really fun piece to put together.
That's great. And yeah, of course, being a baseball fan, he was a little bit superstitious. So
yeah.
In 1970, when the team went to the World Series and they were down to the last game, he was afraid that he would jinx it. So he actually left the country and went to France and had his guys videotape the game. But years later, it was discovered that the network lost the tape, and Bing's was discovered about 10 years ago in his basement, and it is the only surviving recording of that game. So we can thank Bing if we know about the series in that year. Yeah.
That is super cool.
He was a big fan, so this is awesome. Perfect. And another sport that Bing loved, as we know, golf. I think there are more people who associate him with golf. He did love golf. He said, but golf was one of the best sports. He would often just take off and go play. He was supposed to be shooting a movie or something, but he would take off and go play golf. And he also started America's first pro-am tournament, professional amateur, because he had the opportunity as a celebrity to play with anybody he wanted to play with, anybody that was a professional, anybody. But he knew that there were good amateurs out there who never got that opportunity. So he created it. And he gave us the Bing Crosby Pro-Am, which is now the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, and still going today, thanks to Bing. Back in the day, though, he would have the guys, the teams pair up, they'd play, and afterwards they'd eat a dinner, sometimes a clam bake on the beach together, and that's how it got to be called the Crosby Clam Bake. And here he is with his buddy. He also loved golf, but you can see the playfulness there that they had, and in their competitiveness of playing the sport. I
Oh
love
man.
perfect.
Yeah, I can literally hear them making their little comments back and forth throughout the whole round. Everybody knows that would be like you would want to be there so bad to be able to hear them, see
For
them
sure.
play and all that. I'm so glad I got to do this image. I'm a great fan of both characters, and the fact that they worked a lot together means a lot to me. And just I think the posing and everything that's going on tells so much story in the image with how he's got his hand in his pocket. He's kind of just like, oh, I don't know. Are you sure you want to do that? Like, you can feel it as he's looking at him. And I wanted to have some playful color. So I went ahead and did from warm to cool all the way down, almost like a sandy kind of look, which would go well with the clam bake or whatnot,
Yeah.
I guess,
Hmm.
on the beach. But I just think that adding in a little bit of energy here with some water spots and everything just added to the playfulness of what's probably going on in the background. I mentioned earlier, I had a couple favorites. This one is my second favorite of all of them, to be honest, just because of all the fun I got to have in this one. And it just came together awesome. I love it.
That's great. Yeah. And those two guys in particular, I love it too, because they donated a
Mm.
lot to charity, and they would often play for charity. And so it's special to see them together having a good time, just like they always did. And as you envisioned that they would. So it's great. And we're also thankful too, in the back of the book, Pebble Beach allowed us to use one of the pictures of Bing playing at Pebble Beach. So you have to look for that when you get the book. We're grateful to them for that.
Yes. Thank you. Awesome.
Oh, but family was everything to Bing. That was his life. He loved his family. Like I had mentioned a couple of days ago, his first wife Dixie sadly passed away from cancer while they were married, and later on, a few years later, he did remarry. Bing did, and he married another young actress named Catherine Grant, and he had 3 more children with her. And it was really fun to be able to meet Mary Crosby, who's sitting in this picture next to Bing, when she came to Spokane about a month ago. So that was really special. Bing did move this family out of Hollywood. He was concerned for them that it would just not be a good place for raising kids. But he had a special on TV every Christmas, which a lot of people remember still. And you can look them up, see some of the footage of those. They're great. But he included his family in those Christmas specials. And Mary remembers that this picture is from one of those that were on TV. Mary remembered they would start practicing and rehearsing around the breakfast table every day in the center law. Yeah, and then they would get off of school and go down to Hollywood and shoot the special. So, yeah, it was fun that Bing shared his family with America, and just to show how much they meant to him.
That's super sweet. I resonate a little bit with the idea of singing around the whether it's the breakfast table or whatever. I come from a family that we kind of all grew up very similarly in that we all sang or played an instrument or something, and thought that was normal, that we would sing in 5-part harmony for a happy birthday song, maybe, or something like that. So I definitely feel what's going on with these things, and it brought our family very close in those moments when you learn how to sing in harmony with other family members or even just another group of people. You play that music and you learn to work with each other. And I wanted to make sure I captured that here. I could tell that there's some sweetness and sincerity in the family and just being together. I wanted a very clean background for this one. I didn't want to add extra energy. I just wanted you to see their faces and feel a little bit of that, like, warm hug, if you will, while they're singing together. So that's perfect.
That's great. Yeah, and Bing did extend his, as we call him, a multimedia star. He extended his career from recordings to radio to film to TV. And he always included as many people as he could in his endeavors. So when he had his radio show or when he was on TV, he loved to work in a group. And some of the performers remembered that it was a little nerve-wracking because he also didn't like to rehearse. So
Oh man, I resonate with that.
yeah, you pretty much just tell him, you be you and I'll fill in. And we all know that that's not how it sounds. It sounds perfect and it sounds amazing and we're all blown away. But that's just because Bing was that good. And he really wanted other people to shine. And so this Rat Pack, well, part of the Rat Pack picture, I love it because it just shows how much fun he had performing with other people who were really good at what they did. And he admired Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin for their efforts, their hard work, and their talents and abilities, and just the kind of quality of performer that they were. Although I will say Dean Martin said about Bing that they all wouldn't have had careers without him because they sort of patterned their careers after his. And I believe there's a story of Frank Sinatra as a teenager who took a date to visit. He took a date to see Bing Crosby perform. And while they were watching the show, he leaned over to his date and said, "That's what I want to do."
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
so
Oh man.
to see them together is just so cool. It's over the top cool.
It is. And hearing that, how you get inspired by seeing someone else do their craft so well. And I think all of us have someone that maybe we've seen or heard, and to know that that could be obviously in the background behind this is really awesome. I know all their voices. I can hear them singing when I look at them. I grew up and still listen to this music in the studio while I'm painting. I could be painting, who knows, something that commission work or something that I wanted to do for whatever. And I'll probably have one of these voices and sometimes a few of them together singing while I'm painting. And what a privilege and honor to be able to put three of these heavy hitters, if you will, onto one canvas. That alone did it for me on this one. I already knew the direction and how I wanted to do it, but they're all having a great time, and I did too while I did this one.
That's awesome. Yeah, so classic, and it's so fun to remember this part of the 20th century.
Mm-hmm.
And the last painting in the book, and the last one of the day, is also just super iconic. When I saw this, I just couldn't believe it. It is just so classic and classy and iconic, and it just shows Bing. I just feel like the way you captured him in this picture just shows who he was. Just even his outfit, the way that you textured the outfit. I'm really interested to hear how you did this one because it just shows so much of who he was. He was his branding and his personality. Everything is captured in this final painting of the book. It's amazing.
Oh man, I agree with you on all of it, with the texture, the feeling all the characteristics of him coming through this, the way he's holding his pipe, the way he's kind of smiling and just a little bit to the side with beautiful lighting that you would see from a movie or something like that. Just really brought out, I think, his personality and everything that's there. When it came to the texture and everything here, I actually about went crazy getting all the lines exactly how I wanted them. So
That's awesome. Love
yeah,
it.
it's like, oh, here we go. We're getting some stripes on here. And I knew they had to be that same feel where it was a little bit tight, is what we would say as an artist, where you had some tight moments with it, but then you have some loose moments. And I wanted to make sure both were represented so that it wasn't just lost in a fog of paint, if you will, but also very visible. So it almost jumps out at you a little bit when you're standing in front of it or seeing it in the book here.
Yes.
Because I wanted you to feel like you were actually on the scene and actually saying hello. You can see him talking right to you in this moment.
Oh, that's perfect because that's what the book is all about, being himself. And it's his
Exactly.
words. It's so unique that it's his words, it's his music that we get through the QR codes. It's his just you've captured his personality and his features so well and just give us that feel. It's just a great book. I'm so thrilled.
That's you're very kind to say that. I enjoyed every moment of it. And I'm so glad that you let me participate in this process. I feel honored 100% to be even named anywhere near the book and what you've done. And through reading it, because I got preview early on, was absolutely awesome. I love what you said, how it's a micro biography of him and just how that all feels and put together. It was really fun. And that's how I enjoy reading everything. So thank you so much for doing that. Don't forget to pick up one of these books because it is awesome. It's awesome to have on the coffee table. It's awesome to give as a gift. Make sure you get two then, right? And also very cool, once again, that you can scan the QR code and listen to some specific tracks that are coupled with the book. I think it was so well put together, and I'm so glad that I got to be a part of it. The original art as well is available for purchase. And if you would, just go ahead and go on to my website, joeeverson.com, and you can request to see some of those. And we'd love to talk with you about that. But most of all, make sure you get the book. Lauren, you did such a wonderful job. Thank you so much for including me in on this project.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Of course.
And we're glad you joined us.